Welcome to News Today with Universal Parks News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for December 6th, 2025. Disney legend and former Imagineer Joe Rohde had the opportunity to talk with some Universal Epic Universe creatives and shared his notes from their presentation. Quote, "Last night I was invited by the legendary Bob Rogers to his annual Legends dinner. I arrived on time, which turned out to be very early because most of the participants in this dinner were the creative executives responsible for Universal's recent Epic Universe, who were busy handling a record-breaking 2-hour-long post-presentation receiving line. Eric Parr, Jody Keller, Katty Pacitti, Steve Blum, together with moderator Bob Rogers, did an excellent job of describing the management theory that underlay this impressive accomplishment. I have not yet seen the park, but I was happy to just listen to them talk about their method. His directly transcribed notes for the presentation included park is a first park, something echoed multiple times in the lead up to Epic Universe's opening, particularly regarding Celestial Park. We made a conscious effort to put the park back in theme park, said Adam Rivest, executive producer for Celestial Park in 2024. Rohde called this a very important point and said it's what Imagineering tried to do with Animal Kingdom, the park he largely designed. Rohde wrote, "A park is first a park, not a frantic highway of people rushing to and fro to try to ping off hyped attractions. Deliberate departures from accepted canon, like making each land a cul-de-sac, not based on huge mega draws, but on a whole mixture of small, intimate interactions, the value of which cannot be measured using typical metrics. The principle that a world, imaginary or not, has levels, and this is what makes it seem real, argues against a fixation on monumental installations at the expense of detail and ambiance. If you have a land about dragons, there better be dragons." Still, the flying one's up yet. And regarding value engineering, several pointed comments around this. Most importantly, what exactly is value? The very rational assertion that the power to relocate money is to engineer value should reside in the design team. Regarding team structure, talent is diffuse. Many people are multi-talented and most teams want multi-talented people. So a truly integrated team messes with the silos by which we measure performance. Customize the treatment of each person. There is no such thing as a generic person nor a generic method of design. Refuse to stay in the boxes of that HR wants you to. Our executive job is not to say no. Our job is to say how. At the end, he alluded to the next generation of theme park designers, writing, "The audience was full of young people ready to listen. Someday they will be ready to act, and yesterday they got plenty of good advice." So Joe Rohde has not been to the park, but he at least agreed with a lot of the design philosophy behind it. And like I've said in my honest reviews, I really like Epic Universe. Not operationally, but I think budget kind of hit them hard there. They weren't allowed to do more. Operationally, it is not a very good park. Creatively, I think it's the best park Universal's ever done. I like a lot of what it has to say and what it offers, and I wish they just had let them build 5 or 6 more attractions so it could actually handle the capacity they want it to handle. The Epic Universe, speaking of that added capacity, the Epic Universe expansion permit Universal filed last month has been moved to review, and a note is designating it for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. As previously reported, the Orange County permit is for new construction, specifically site utilities and foundation work at 1001 Epic Boulevard, Orlando, Florida 32819. The permit has since received the extra note located within area P905. P905 is the code name for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. The permit was filed by Baker Barrios Architects Incorporated on behalf of Universal. It covers a 150,000 square foot space, which is about the size of the existing land available. No truss engineering and no tree removal is included. Of course, there are several expansion pads in Epic Universe, and some of them are specifically for each of the existing portals, and there is a very large one for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So it seems like this is the next step in this park. It's the worst kept secret of all right now. Is it the right decision? I mean, the park probably needs another indoor attraction, and this would be an indoor attraction. Several years ago, the word on the street was the first expansion of Epic would be Nintendo. It would be Luigi's Mansion. But as I've said before, and this seems shocking to people, but the thing I've always been told is there is a contractual obligation to first open any, at least the opening lineup of Universal Nintendo attractions have to debut first in Japan. Nintendo's a Japanese company, so of course they would want that, and that's been what's happened so far. Super Nintendo World opened first in Japan. Donkey Kong Country opened first in Japan. Pokemon is already under construction in Japan. It's the only place it's under construction, so it's going to open there first, and so on and so forth. I think eventually USJ is going to run out of land, and that's not going to stand when it comes to things like Zelda and other things, but Luigi's Mansion, I'd be somewhat surprised if that's not in the plans for USJ. So either way, they've decided Potter next and not Nintendo and not Dragons and not Dark Universe. So that's where we're headed, and it seems like there's no stopping. Universal Orlando Resort is testing a digital version of their Attractions Assistance Pass, which allows guests needing certain accommodations to receive a return time for an attraction instead of physically waiting in line. The sign-up process is still the same as outlined on the Universal Orlando Resort website. Guests may request an attraction queue accommodation by registering for an IBSES Individual Accessibility Card, or IAC, at accessibilitycard.org within 30 days of their visit or at least 48 hours before arrival. After receiving an approval for the IAC, a Universal Destinations and Experiences Guest Accessibility Team member will contact the guest to discuss accommodations. The IAC is not necessarily required, but can help streamline the process. Having an IAC also does not guarantee Universal will grant the guest attraction accommodations. Until now, guests pre-approved for accommodations or seeking day of accommodations would still have to visit guest services on the first day of their visit to pick up a physical Attractions Assistance Pass, or AAP. This pass would have the guest's name, valid dates, number of guests in the party, a grid for return times, and a barcode. To use the AAP, guests would have to visit the attraction they wanted to ride, find the team member distributing return times, and have them write the attraction name and return time on the card if the wait time was long enough. Anytime after the return time, guests would once again approach a team member who would check their card and then welcome them to the Express Pass queue. Now guests won't need to visit each individual attraction to receive a return time. Much like the Disney DAS Pass, guests can request a digital return time through the Universal Orlando Resort app. A guest services team member will help guests link their AAP to the app, either ahead of time when they contact guests about the IAC or in person at the park. Though guests can request return times without visiting an attraction, they must be inside the park and can only request times for attractions in the park that they are in. For example, you can only request a return time for the E.T. Adventure if you're inside Universal Studios Florida. You cannot do it from Islands of Adventure. Here are the steps described on the Universal Orlando website. Select an attraction. After entering the park, the attraction is in. You can select it from the list of attractions in the Eligible Attractions tab. Once selected, you'll be taken to the attraction details page where you'll be able to get a return time by selecting the Attraction Assistance Pass, or AAP, button. You can then review your AAP companion party, confirm who is in your companion party and will be experiencing the attraction with you, and then receive your return time. A return time will be provided based on the attraction's current posted wait time. Then you arrive at the attraction and see an attraction attendant. Once it's your return time, you can head over to the attraction and an attraction attendant will validate your return time. The AAP holder must be present and experience the attraction for anyone in your AAP party to enter the attraction during the return time. The digital update began testing on Thursday, December 4th. Guests who do not wish to use the app may still get the physical card. The physical pass may also be used at various times during testing at Universal, as Universal is tweaking the system. It may not work at all times. You may have to get the physical. Universal states in their FAQ, the Attraction Assistance Pass digital return time program is currently in technical rehearsal, and some elements may not be available during this time. An IAC is valid for 1 year, and an AAP is valid for the length of your ticket validity up to 1 year. Universal states the AAP is designed for guests whose disability prevents them from waiting for extended periods in an attraction queue environment. Guests can learn more by contacting the Universal Destinations and Experiences Guest Accessibility Team. You can call them at 407-817-8349. Universal Orlando Resort has announced the 2026 dates for the return of passholder bonus benefits. Perks will include a giveaway, discounts, and more. UOAP bonus benefits will be taking place from January 5th through January 31st, 2026. Though Universal didn't announce many details of the benefits, they said there will be a free specialty UOAP lanyard, exclusive dining areas and menu items, a 35% annual pass photo package, and hotel discounts. Details will be on the Passholder Perks page when they are announced. Universal has added more themed posters and signs to the Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit construction walls in Universal Studios Florida. The roller coaster closed permanently back in August, has been completely demolished, and now the new coaster that will replace it is currently under construction. A few weeks ago, Universal extended the walls to run right up to the nearby buildings, no longer allowing guests to reach the firehouse facade. The coaster previously ran through the facade, did Rip Ride Rockit. Before Rip Ride Rockit was there, the firehouse was the entrance to the Ghostbusters Spooktacular show, and then it was just a facade in front of Twister Ride It Out. Nearby is a sign for the restoration of the historic Engine 89 firehouse, which has been on the wall since they went up in June. This led some to wonder if the replacement for Rip Ride Rockit would be Ghostbusters inspired. But soon after, Universal added references to Fast and Furious and Back to the Future. Take a wild guess which of those IPs they're going to use. The one you least want. Shock. The new posters also reference Back to the Future as well as the Blues Brothers. A Battle of the Bands audition poster is stapled onto the other flyers. This is straight out of Back to the Future when Marty McFly and his band, the Pinheads, auditioned for the Battle of the Bands. The Blues Brothers poster advertises Jake and Elwood Blues performing on Delancey Street across from Finnegan's. Of course, the pair really do perform in that location, currently performing their lovely, lovely Christmas show, which is my favorite thing in all of Universal. The poster also misspells saxophone, by the way, this is the thing, as saxophone. But either way, some versions of the Blues Brothers ad have the Santa hats on them, of course, for that holiday show. Another flyer for VCR technicians is secured with duct tape. This features Mr. Tape, a mascot from the 2024 Summer Tribute Store. Mr. Tape also appears in the 2025 Christmas Tribute Store as well. Perhaps the most interesting set of posters advertises Club Moon and a new location opening soon. Full text says Club Moon, world's first club on the moon, open nightly except Mondays, new location opening soon, open mic nights, slow jams, dance battles, celebrity whispers, and more. Follow the beat to our digs just down the road from 30 Rock in association with the New York City Late Evenings Events Fund. Of course, the 30 Rock facade is just down the road and houses Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon, where there is a roller coaster ride from the moon under construction. So it might be a reference to that. I think it's Club Moon. I don't know. Anyway. Of course, Universal has only ever referred to the new attraction under construction as a new experience or attraction, but it's very clearly a roller coaster. Sources indicate it is a coaster by Intamin, one that would have multiple launches, and a permit has called for a 2-story building. What is this ride? I think it's just going to be Fast and Furious. Look, Fast and Furious Supercharged needs to go, so I'm all on board with another Fast and Furious attraction. I'm just sad based on the teases. I think the teases were mean because obviously Universal knows that people want Back to the Future or Ghostbusters in the park in an attraction. Clearly they understand that people want that. Why won't they give it to us? Why do they feel the need to tease us but then not give it to us? It just seems mean. I don't know. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to WDWNT.travel and their team will design your next magical vacation, from tickets to Epic Universe and other Universal parks to hotel accommodations and more. And the best part is their concierge services are 100% free. So book today. Today's show also brought to you by Carousel of Products at carouselproducts.com. We don't currently have any Universal-related products, but we do have a lot of Disney Parks-related products, including our 8-foot-tall, 10-foot-long inflatable Santa Gertie. We also have Santa Gertie scented candles available just for the holiday season. As well, we have a plush of Sunny Eclipse, some fantastic t-shirts, some spectacular bundles, and more. Check us out at carouselofproducts.com. Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein merchandise has dropped at Universal Studios, including new crossbody bag and a variety of apparel. The Frankenstein crossbody is $55. The Bride of Frankenstein t-shirt is $35. The Bride of Frankenstein hoodie is $65. The Bride of Frankenstein sweatpants is $45. The shorts are $45 as well. We spotted all of this at the Five and Dime in Universal Studios, Florida. It looks like the Expo Eat Snack kiosk at Universal Studios Florida is getting more than an expansion. It's being completely rebuilt. The original kiosk, located across from Animal Actors on Location, has been demolished and construction is underway on the new one. Since construction walls went up in October, they have been extended around the site of the old Expo Eats kiosk. The walls were also covered with images of foliage so they blend in with the park a little better. The walls start right behind the face paint kiosk and wrap around through the Central Park archway. In Central Park, there is a fence with green scrim around the construction zone. We could see through the scrim and confirm the original Expo Eats snack kiosk is gone and the pavement has been torn up. There's a short wall around the construction zone, but this might be temporary. Smaller planks of wood on the ground appear to outline the new kiosk foundation. The original construction permit indicated the kiosk would get new equipment, power upgrades, and new plumbing lines. The permit expires in March 2026. It would make sense for Expo Eats to be rebuilt and renamed. We'll have to wait and see exactly what's going on. Maybe they got to put the new plumbing and they're going to plop the old kiosk back in, but it does seem like a new one is going to go in. Good fortune, Wicked merch hunters. Several new pieces of Wicked for Good merchandise have flown into Universal Orlando Resort. There's a Her Universe satchel for $90. The Lug Oz wallet is $50. The Emerald Green lug bag is $65. The Wicked lug strap is $22. The For Good lug strap is $22 as well. The normal is overrated lug strap is $22. There's a black and green lug crossbody for $80. A lug mini crossbody for $85. A multicolored lug crossbody is $80. The Wicked lug charm for your bag is $18. The other charms include a flying monkey for $18, a butterfly for $18 as well. There's also a Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Cowardly Lion spirit jersey for $85. The Our Universe Scarecrow hoodie is $70. The Kiamoko spirit jersey is $85. The black long coat is available for $90. We spotted these items at the Universal Studios store in City Walk. Universal Orlando Resort has two new Chucky-inspired Hello Kitty items, a little late for Halloween, but nonetheless, they have arrived. We spotted both in the Five and Dime shop at Universal Studios Florida. The Hello Kitty Chucky shoulder plush retails for $25. The Hello Kitty Chucky doll, it's a full-size doll, is $45. Jurassic World VelociCoaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure is no longer offering a single rider line. The former single rider line sign is now covered by a black tarp. The team member we spoke to at the attraction said single rider probably won't return. Now, why did they close the single rider line? The word on the street is currently they're doing a system that you've seen at many attractions where they're making lines of odd numbers of guests and even numbered parties of guests, and they're using that to fill every seat. That would remove the need for a single rider line. I know the single rider line for this can get pretty bad. People will typically, when it is closed temporarily, people will kind of clog the entrance waiting for it to open. It's been kind of a mess, so I totally understand Universal doing this instead. Obviously, if you are regularly a single rider, this is not fun news, but it does make some amount of sense. But yeah, now you have to use either a standby queue or Express Pass, and that's all you've got. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to our WIGS members watching who make the show happen every single week. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to universalparksnewstoday.com. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to UPNT on YouTube for more great content, but make sure you click the bell for notifications and hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. For UPNT, this is Tom Corliss saying, the future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one.